Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
This is Monica Grapes, and this is Mindset Monday. And I am going to be speaking to you today about the fourth and fifth chapters of my book. So this is, what we want to do here on Monday Mindset is try to start our week with some positive mindset. And I wrote a book on it. And so the name of my book is called Inner Being in Balance. And it's about how to balance your work and life and just create success by having that. So the first, the chapters of the book spell out balance. And the first chapter is believing. Second chapter is allowing. Third is learning. Then we go to affirming. And then we have nurturing, celebrating, and expanding. And today we are going to talk about two chapters called nurturing and the other one celebrating. And the what we talk about with nurturing is really about mindfulness. And so I don't know if you really understand what mindfulness means, but we can do that every day. Mindfulness is having an intention. And when you have an intention, you are really, hold on a second. There we go. With intention, you are looking at things with having your mind in it and thinking about, it's almost like not thinking. So mindfulness is just being in the moment. And that when you do that, you are actually nurturing yourself. And when you nurture your body, soul, mind, then you are actually being in the moment when you are nurturing those aspects of your life. So let's talk about mindfulness a little bit deeper. Did you know that if you breathe and you pay attention to your breath, that's called mindfulness? That part of where you just sit in silence and you just listen to your breath. And sometimes being a little bit more mindful about it, you can count, because that way, our mind can have a lot of thoughts come up when we're trying to do this type of breathing and being mindful of your breath. And so you can actually count. And the way I do it is I count while breathing in. You can count up to 5, up to 6, up to 7. And then as you release your breath, you can also count. There's a Vietnamese monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, I can't say his name. He is a famous monk, a Vietnamese monk. And what I learned from him in mindfulness is you can nurture yourself by breathing in, and when you breathe in, you can say things like "I am," and when you breathe out, you can breathe out a word that maybe like "I am happy." And what I like about when he talks about breathing and being mindful is try to do it with a smile. Okay, so let's do that now. You breathe in, I am, and then you breathe out with a smile, happy. Or I am, breathing in, safe. And just try to remember that when you're doing things like that. And that puts you in the moment, and that puts you in that state of mindfulness. And it's also nurturing. It's very nurturing, because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in that moment, and you're getting rid of all of that stress of the day, of things that you might have coming up. Whenever I get ready to speak in front of a large group, I always take at least 5 deep breaths. And I'm very mindful of taking those 5 deep breaths, because it puts me in that moment. It just, your cortisone levels, which cause stress, they actually go down when you do mindful things like this. And nurturing is also another aspect. If you think about it, you can nurture yourself with good food. And you can also, while you're eating, do some mindfulness things when you're eating, because that's also going to help with your digestion. It's going to help with just you enjoying the food. Whenever I eat out, I try not to eat through a drive-through. In this job as a realtor, it's easy to do that, where you get hungry and you're like, oh, I'm just going to drive through and grab something because you're running behind or whatever. Try to do things and set this intention, okay, that today I'm going to nurture myself, and I am not going to go through a drive-through. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to have something nice to eat, and I'm going to eat slowly, and I'm going to enjoy my food. So that's just a great exercise for you to try and plan, because what happens when you do multitasking, and we all know it, when you're multitasking, you are actually causing your body harm and causing your mind harm and your vision and things like that, because you're just going and doing, things 100 miles an hour. And that's what causes stress. And stress is the number one killer, right? Stress is, it just causes so many negative things to your body. So if you want to talk about nurturing, try those things that I'm talking about, where you're more mindful about your intention. So when you think about some of the things you might have to do during the day. So let's say you need to wash dishes, or you need to put dishes into the dishwasher. Try to do that very mindful. Okay, you're looking at the water coming out. You are watching yourself, wash these dishes before you put them into the dishwasher. Now, this is just a little example of how you can be more mindful. And when you're more mindful, you're actually nurturing your mindset, and you're nurturing your physical body. If you do things in a rush, and I've done it before, a story that I have that I tell a lot is, if you have a morning routine, you are actually nurturing yourself before you go out into the world. So do something, whether it is meditating for 5 minutes, whether it's reading something positive, writing in your journal. I love to write in my journal. And if you take that time, I would say an hour before you actually get ready to go or get ready to face the world. So start your day slow, sit and read something positive, journal, and then do some breathing exercises. And all of this, what you're doing is you're actually nurturing yourself to be prepared for what is to come. If you jump straight onto the your phone or iPad, laptop, and you go straight to emails, or you go straight to your texts, you are giving up your sovereignty. I love that word sovereignty, because sovereignty is doing something for yourself, doing something alone. And you want to be prepared and have your mind prepared before you actually take on things. And if you decide that, oh, I'm going to look at my emails or I'm going to look at my texts, the very first thing when you wake up in the morning, you have put that stress right into your life after you've had some nice sleep. And then you have given up your own sovereignty. You've given up and you put yourself out there on somebody else's timeline. All right. You have given up what you need to do personally to somebody else. Okay. So we are in the customer service business and we do need to look at our texts and our emails, but give it time. Give it just a little bit of time before you decide that I'm going to give up myself to somebody else. I'm going to give service to somebody else first. You know how in the airplanes, they always say, put the mask on yourself before you put it on a child or put it on someone else? It's the same thing. You want to do this for yourself before you do or service anyone else. And believe me, your day will be so much better if you nurture yourself first before you take on the world. And the world is filled with a lot of crazy stuff right now, right? So how is your mindset? What do you think happens to your mindset if you decide to, wake up in the morning and turn on the news? Very first thing. You're giving away that energy, that positive energy that you need to have in order to face your day and face the people that we need to work with or make phone calls in the morning. So try not to look at that news aspect right away as well. Okay, I know we want to find out what's going on in the world, but what if you were able to spend just a little bit of time on yourself before you turn on the television or log in and read all of the disaster, the stuff that's happening? I know that we want to do some positive things, so we have to know about what's happening before we can help. But all I'm saying is just give it a little bit of time, because when you sleep, you're actually nurturing your body as well. Okay, so think of sleep as one of the best things that you can do for your body, your mind, your soul, actually. So one of the things that I do to nurture my body is try to go to bed at a decent hour, read something positive again, or listen to an audible, something that can help you to go to sleep. And you can also do those breathing exercises while you're laying in bed as well. Because as you notice your breath, you're actually helping yourself to do that, rhythmic type of breathing. And then before you know it, you've fallen to sleep. So sleep is so important. Eating, sleeping, and breathing. All right. So that's what we mean by nurturing. You can also, nurture yourself with exercise. There's so many people I know in this world that just don't take care of their bodies, and they're eating the wrong things. They are not exercising. And so if you move your body, and it's so funny because, back in the 40s, and really exercise started around the 50s, and people thought, what are they doing? Why are they running? Why are they taking long walks? Why are they doing this exercise stuff? And it's funny because, now we take exercise so serious. It doesn't really have to be that serious, but we know that we are doing something good for our bodies. And that's why we're living so much longer. Stretching, calisthenics, Tai Chi, something that's a little bit more mindful is what I do. I do yoga, and I've done yoga now for over 30 years. And I started with yoga because I was stressing out in my job. And I had a really high corporate job, and it was taking a lot out on me. And I found that if I started my mornings with a little bit of stretching and just being calm and breathing correctly, that I was able to take that with me throughout the day. And so think about that. Think about the exercise, the eating, the sleeping, and just that breathing part of how you can put yourself as number one. That doesn't mean you're being selfish, but selfish, that word, if you think about it, you're taking care of yourself. So sometimes you do have to be a little bit selfish in that aspect of taking the care that you need to have the mindset that you need to go throughout your day. Okay. So let's see what time it is. Oh, good. Perfect timing. Now we're going to talk about the other chapter in my book called Celebrating. Okay. So remember, we've got B for believing, A for allowing, L for learning, A for affirming. We just finished up N for nurturing, and now we're going to C for celebrating. Who doesn't know how to celebrate? If you don't know how to celebrate, let me help you out. All right. Celebrating you, celebrating accomplishments, celebrating life by being adventurous and trying new things and accomplishing. Those are the things that I'm talking about when I talk about celebrating. It's not just celebrating a birthday, which of course we love to do that, right? Celebrating your life when you were born, celebrating other people's life when they were born. But you know what? Celebrating just the little things. Celebrating when you get up early. All right. They're so easy to sleep in. Maybe you celebrate sleeping in when you really need it. Just think about all the little things that you can do in life by just saying, I celebrate, I appreciate. And that's really what celebrating is appreciating. And when you appreciate, that's gratitude. So think about it in a different way. I'm celebrating who I am by having some friends over, and I'm going to cook everybody dinner. I'm going to celebrate life. I'm going to celebrate my friends. I'm going to celebrate my friendship, and I'm going to celebrate that I am able to cook. Think about the little things that you can be grateful for. So I really, really appreciate that I have a nice home, that I have a car that I love. I appreciate those things so much that I like to decorate. So, I just looked at my bathroom the other day, and I said, I'm in this bathroom a lot. And we're in our bathrooms a lot. They're just like kitchens, right? And that's why we want to decorate kitchens and decorate baths, because we're there a lot, and we want to have the presence around us of beauty. And so I felt, I need to celebrate this bathroom. I need to be grateful for it more. And so I'm going to redecorate. And it feels so good, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. It feels really good when you decorate. So decorate is just another way, another form of celebrating the home and being appreciative of what you have. Think about a house that you're going to be selling that is a blank canvas. It's completely vacant, empty, and the seller has left it up to you, or at least been a part of how you're going to stage it. And think how it feels to that buyer when they come in, and if it's just completely blank, all gray, maybe some wood floors, kitchen looks okay, but what if you brought in some bright colors and you brought in the staging? You know what I'm talking about. You're actually feel this feeling of what that those tangible items can do for you. So it's almost like, let's celebrate this house. Let's make this house look beautiful. And it helps. It really helps. And so it's the same kind of thing. What I want you to do for yourself is celebrate those little accomplishments. I love it when I win awards, because those awards, like being icon, that was a challenge, and I was inspired, and I really went for it. And then when it came time for them to tell me that I made icon status, I celebrated, right? I took my whole family out to dinner, and I let them know, this is what we're celebrating. We're celebrating my accomplishment of becoming icon. And then I was able to post it and let everybody know that I did this. And then I also said, how can I help others? And that's what I love about this company at EXP so much, is that once we become icon, they ask you to help others. That's part of this whole icon status, is they ask you to help others become icon as well. And by teaching and doing these podcasts or doing these little videos that we're doing, I feel really good about it. And I celebrate myself for having the courage to come onto these, Monday Mindset or Mindset Mondays. And I really enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And I hope that you celebrate yourself every single day. What about if you are in some kind of competition? Okay. Let's say that you want to hike Mount Everest. Okay. We have someone on our team, Tim Murray, if you're watching, I'm talking about your climb. And he's climbed all these other mountains. And I know him, and I know that he celebrated himself when he's accomplished these big feats. So we don't all have to climb Mount Everest, but we do have things in our life that we need to be grateful for. We need to be grateful that we actually have the intelligence to help people buy or sell real estate. If you go to a listing and you feel really good about who you are, and you have the confidence of who you are, and you're grateful for, like I said, the intelligence that you have, when you take these things into a meeting and you have that just 30 seconds before that meeting, that's all it takes. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and know that you have what it takes. That energy that you're going to take into that, you can visualize it too. I've visualized seeing people sign the exclusive right to sell, with me, signing that listing agreement with me. If you visualize it, that gives you that confidence to take that in to the presentation or consultation, and then smile, right? Ask the right questions, have that confidence, and know that you have it. And then when you get that listing, celebrate. It's all about feeling good. If you don't get it, if you don't get the listing, it just wasn't meant to be. You go with the flow, right? Going with the flow is another form of celebrating life. Because if you take on negativity, or if you take on things and you feel that you didn't do your best, well, maybe you didn't do your best that day, but that doesn't mean that you need to beat yourself up. We are our worst critics. By celebrating who you are and looking at mistakes or looking at failures a little bit different, you can actually be grateful and appreciate the things that happen so that you can learn. We talked about learning last week. And And so I want you to take that nurturing and celebrating to the highest level that you can. When you celebrate who you are and you celebrate life to the highest that you can, you're going to put yourself again in that highest form of vibration. And when you do that, you start to attract more and more of the people that feel the way you do. So let's talk about that mindfulness, the mindfulness part of breathing, nurturing yourself, and then look at every little moment of your life and be grateful. Be grateful for the things that might happen that are negatively, because you're going to learn from it. And I know that there are times that you feel like you shouldn't be celebrating. For example, if you had a death, and we call this it's part of life, right? So if you don't feel like celebrating and you want to be sad and you want to have those feelings, you deserve that. That's also part of nurturing yourself and letting others nurture you as well, letting others help you to get through things. But have you ever heard of celebration of life when there is a death? I've been to a few of those celebrations of life, and they're wonderful. It's people remembering how wonderful these people were in their life. So I really encourage you to take these feelings, and they're feelings, and they're actually taking action. Take action to nurture yourself. Take action to celebrate yourself. And I would love to hear from you. You can go to my website, Manifest with Monica, and manifestwithmonica.com is just a place where you can hear a little bit more about this. I love these agent power huddles and these, Monday mindsets, because it gives me the opportunity to express to you some of the things that I feel can help. Monday mindsets, and just having that mindset before you take off and do the job that we do, because the job that we do, we have value. And when you know that you have value, and when you can articulate that value, you are actually nurturing and celebrating yourself in that moment when you are articulating all the value that you have when you bring that out into your workplace. So I really hope that everybody got something out of this. And I want you to think about it, about the words that I use for spelling out balance. And when we're on next, we will be talking about expanding and all of these 6 acronyms that I've used for balance. And then the E is the last word, the 7th letter. And we're going to talk about expanding. And that is a beautiful mindset on how you can use expansion in your life. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and then also a wonderful week. All right? Have a great day.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.